This week's Torah reading, Matos and Maseh, discusses the travels of the Jewish people in the desert. And the Torah goes on a very unusual list, listing all the places they went, all 42 places they were in their 40 years in the desert. But it doesn't just list them as places, it goes in details. And they went here and they went there. Then they went here, they went there. Very, very repetitive. The question is, why such the repetition? If you want to list the places, you could just make a long list. But you repeat over and over. They left and they traveled and they left and they traveled. What's the explanation? There's a beautiful explanation by one of the commentaries. He said that one thing in life which is always hard for us is when we have instability. One day we're one place, another day we're somewhere else, and this is something which could affect all of us in many different scenarios. But there's one way to be stable. If you understand that you're in the hands of God the whole time, it doesn't matter where He takes you today. Maybe He takes you today somewhere, and tomorrow somewhere else, and the next day you have another wrinkle in what your plan is and your schedule and the things that are going to happen. That's what life is about. And either a person can be very concerned and nervous and feel the instability, or you could realize, no, there is stability. I'm in God's hand the entire time. I was in God's hand yesterday. I'm in God's hand today. And as long as I have that feeling of being stable with God, you can make peace with yourself. We'll now continue with the singing of Lechadodi, the song we sing Friday night, written by the great Rabbi of Shlomo Alkabetz in the late 1400s. Lechadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela lechadodi lekras kala pnei Shabbos nekabela shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Ishmiyanu kel hamyuchad Hashem echad Ushma hoyachad L'shemo seferes v'lesila Chadodi l'kras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela L'kras Shabbos l'chuvin elcha Ki mekor haberacha meirosh mikedem nesucha Sov ma'aseh b'machshavot chila lechadodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela mikdash melech Ir melucha kumitzi mitoch ha'afecha Rav lach sheves b'yemekabacha V'hu yachamol alayichem la'lecha Dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Hisnari me'afar kumi Livshi bigdei sefartei chalmi Al yad ben yishai beis halachmi Karva el nafshi giyahala lecha Dodi lekras kala Pnei Shabbos nekabela Hisahoreri Kiva horechu miyori Uri, shir daberi, Gevod Hashem, alayich nigla. Lecha dodi lekras kala, Pnei Shabbos nekabela, V'hayulim shisa, shahosayich, V'rachaku kameh v'halayich, Yosis alayich elokayich, Kim sozcha sanal kala lecha dodi lekras kala. Pnei Shabbos nekabela yamin usmal tehefrotzi v'yez Hashem daritzi al yad ben yishai beis halachmi karva el nafshi giyala lecha dodi lekras kala. Pnei Shabbos nekabela b'wi b'shalom Atares ba'ala gamberino v'tzahala tochemune yam segula ba'wikala lecha dodi lekras kala Oneg Shabbat nekabela. This week we're ending the book of Numbers, and we always end up any of the 5 books of Moses with the phrase strengthen, strengthen. We should be strengthened. Chazak, chazak, v'nis chazek. We end the Torah reading with those words. And the question is why? And why we say it 3 times, be strengthened and strengthened. So we know that when we do something 3 times, it becomes more natural to us. It becomes part of who we are. We find this in many different laws. In Judaism and really in life itself, the more we do something, the more we get accustomed to something, the more it becomes part of us. As we finish the book of Numbers has discussed many of the trials, the travails of the Jewish people in the desert, and somehow we always managed to get through. Sometimes it wasn't easy, many times it wasn't easy. Sometimes we disappointed ourselves, we disappointed our leaders, but we always got to the end. So when we get to the end, we say 3 times to strengthen, strengthen, and strengthen ourselves, because if we could overcome this, we could overcome anything. We're now finished with the singing of Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'es Nasa B'chefso Kol Azai Mehelech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kechlos HaKol Levahado Yimloch Nora V'haya V'hoveh V'hu yiyeh b'sefara v'hu echad v'yein sheni Hamshilo lehachvira v'li reishis v'li sachlis v'lo ha'oz v'hamizra v'hu keli v'chai go'ali V'tzor chevli v'yes nasa v'hu nisi umanosli Minas kosi b'yom ekra b'yahado avkid ruchi V'yes ishan v'yahira v'yem ruchi gev'yasi Ado shem li v'lo v'ira. Have a happy and healthy week. Great weekend, a great Shabbat. We'll see everybody next week.